Cutting across to a breaking input that we are getting. Now, Home Panel is all set to adopt the draft report of the three bills, referred to it by Home Minister in the last monsoon session of Parliament. Now, the draft reports expected to recommend criminalisation of adultery with a general neutral provision. Several opposition MPs are expected to file this dissent notes, alleging the draft reports are being rushed through. Opposition MPs have also opposed the Hindi name for the three bills. MPs are likely to suggest further inclusion in the bills. In case of punishment for agitation, which is currently at 2 years, it should be reduced to 1 year because the agitation is a part of democracy. Now, in case of death by negligence, whether through death in road rash or other cases of negligent death result, currently the punishment is for 6 months and the MPs are recommending this to be made up to 2 years. Now, these are the details that we are getting. These are the opposition MPs may file dissent notes, but however, they are opposing certain set of things in the entire Home Panel's draft report. Now, joining us on the broadcast is my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, what more details do we have about this draft report? Well, there seems to be a problem with that connection. We'll remind the viewers that a Home Panel is all set to adopt the draft report for the three bills, which were referred to it by the Home Minister in the last monsoon session of the Parliament. Now, the draft reports are expected to recommend criminalisation of adultery with general neutral provision. Several opposition MPs are expected to dissent their notes. However, there are certain objections that these MPs have raised. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Payal. A very good morning, Payal. What more details do we have, and what is the draft report pertinently?
Well, the three bills that were the CrP amendment bill, the Evidence Act bill, these three bills were referred to the standing committee during the last monsoon session of Parliament, and they were given 3 months to adopt the report and present it before Parliament. That report is likely to be adopted today, but there were many MPs in the opposition rank who had questioned the government on the tearing hurry to pass the bill. So that's why they had said that there is more time which is required, because still till the winter session of Parliament is possibly still about 4 weeks time to go. So we'll have to just see if that the request is accepted today, but there are several changes that have to be made, because the government has spoken about the fact that these bills stand for removing the colonial era laws and essentially providing justice instead of just providing punishment. So that remains to be seen what provisions are adopted. There are a lot of amendments to the bill. We'll have to just wait and see what really transpires. But yes, the critical things of making, adultery a crime, not just for women, but making it gender neutral. Also, the fact that some MPs had also said that it is important that in case of negligence death, the provision so far for punishment is just about 6 months, but that needs to be extended to about 2 years. And also, many other things have to be changed to ensure that justice is delivered. And justice is delivered in time. So that is awaited today, and there has been a lot of war of words between the opposition parties and the ruling party MPs in this panel. In this panel is also former Home Minister Mr. Chidambaram.
Okay.
He has sought more time to speak on the bill and had requested the government not to go in for a tearing. How do you just know a bit from now if the report is actually adopted?
Right, Payal, I'll request you to stay with us on the broadcast. Ananya Bhatnagar, our legal correspondent, is also joining us on the broadcast. Ananya, very good morning. Why is the Home Affairs Committee recommending criminalization of adultery with a general neutral provision?
Well, definitely, this is something we had seen. Adultery was a crime at some point of time, though it was a judgment of the Supreme Court that, decriminalized adultery. And still, in the armed forces, it is a crime and it is accepted to be a crime if at all it is done in the armed forces. But very, very significantly, as Payal was also pointing it out, this is a kind of a pilot project for this government, and a very, very, ambitious one. They want to change the three major laws, that is the Indian Penal Code, the CrPC, that is the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the Indian Evidence Act. Complete criminal jurisprudence of the country would, be affected with this particular bill. And though there are a lot of changes that have been suggested in this particular bill, and it will change completely the things, because this law that that the government is now proposing to bring would be like there is the sedition law that is now had been struck down by the government, and it has been reintroduced as section 150 in this new bill, wherein the provision has been retained under section 150 with some changes. The offense has been enhanced. Changes have also come in when it comes to the punishment for sedition. It has been now increased, and not only this, the new bill also strengthens the investigations against people like proclaimed offenders and absconders. There can be that people like Mira Modi, Mehul Choksi, and Daud Ibrahim can be in trouble if at all this bill is gets a go ahead without some kind of a changes being made, because as per the new laws, 356 6 section, absence of the accused won't prevent the court from actually proceeding with the trial, including the pronouncement of a judgment against them. So very, very significant changes being suggested. In fact, mob lynching now also has been introduced as a new offense in this new bill. So how much of it does it play up? How many changes would actually happen is something that we'll have to wait and watch for. But this is something that could actually give out a complete reform to the criminal system in the country itself.
Right. Thank you so much, Ananya, for all those details. And thank you so much, Pyle, for joining us on the broadcast and giving out